Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So it's my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do the Bernat Classic Crochet Beret. This is an older pattern. It's actually using Bernat satin. That's on the lighter size of number 4. So I would suggest Caron Simply Soft if you don't have access to that. But this is a great opportunity. We're going to be using a smaller hook than normal, which is a 4mm size G crochet hook so that it's nice and tight. So what we have here is the first set of instructions here, and it says continue in this manner until 120 stitches. So I know you're gonna ask me, I wish that you would have put the round counts for that. I have that for you today. Then I'm going to continue on into this section. So what I'm going to do is get yourself started. You're going to continue all the way to 120 single crochets on your own, and then I'm gonna pick up from here and work backwards in order to get it. So we have to start from the middle and work our way out. So let me show you. I already have a partial sample that I did on my vacation to Prince Edward Island. So I already have half of this already done, and then I'm gonna finish that half with you on camera, but I will get you started anyway. Before you really get into this tutorial, I'm recommending you do a gauge check. I'm actually at the end of my tutorial at this moment, and my hat is too small for an adult size. So the gauge is 15 single crochets by 16 rows. We have the tutorial available on gauge checking. I'll put that in the actual article itself to check your gauge, because you can see the hole here, even though it does stretch, it's too small for an adult size here, and that's because even though I'm using the same size hook, I'm a little too tight. So just keep an eye on that, and I'd recommend that instead of being disappointed at the end. So here on camera, this is a hexagon. So before it shapes into that beret, it looks like this. So this is round number 19 when we finish off with doing 18 stitches in a row and then 2 into the next one. I will talk about that in just a moment. But what I want you to be very conscious is that there is 6 sides. So whenever we go to increase each round, it's by 6. That's because there's 1 each single crochet per section of the sides that we have. So let me take you to the counts that you would need to do, and you might want to do a screen freeze in order to do that as well. So as you're continuing each section, you're gonna go 1 through 5, and it says continue in the same manner, increasing 6 stitches per round as established to 120 single crochet. So here's rounds number 6 all the way to 19. So I did the counts of what the stitch counts are per round, but what I want you to pay attention to is the letter or the numbers in green. So it said here 1 single crochet in each of the 4 single crochets, 2 into the next. So that means in round number 6 there's gonna be 5 single crochets in a row and then 2 into the next. The next one, the next round we have is 6 single crochets and then 2 into the next. So I wrote down this number just as a verification so that you can keep that in mind as well. So that's something that you can consider. So what I'm gonna do is get yourself started now, and we're going to start. Choose any color that you want, have some fun with it, and let's start our classic crochet beret right now. So I'm gonna get yourself started. You can either chain 6 and then form a loop by slip stitching to the 6th one back to have that, and then you can do round number 1 and then you can put 12 single crochets. So chain 1 and then put 12 single crochets. Now I technically just did that, and it was a mess because I was loose. I had a really gaping hole at the top. So what I want to do is that I want to create a magic circle instead. So how to do that is just lay it in your hand and use 2 fingers only. And this is going to the yarn ball, so just wrap around your fingers. We have slower videos available for magic rings if this is what you want. So using the same size hook, just go under and pull through and slide your fingers out and chain 1 to lock. So now when I go to crochet around this magic ring, I want to make sure I'm going up over the 2 strands here. So let's put in 12 single crochets in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now once you have those in, you're gonna take that strand that's the shorter strand and you're gonna pull, and that's gonna close in off your circle. So the tighter you pull it, the tighter the hole will be. And I want you to slip stitch to the 12th one up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So slip stitch to the 12th one back. And then pull a loop. Now this is going to fall out or loosen off on you. So what you have to do is you have to secure that first. So turning it to the back side, and you're just gonna go underneath some stitch work, but don't go to the good side, and go across once, twice, and 3 times. If you want to tie a knot you can, but you don't really need to. You go back and forth like that, and therefore you can cut that out and have the perfect center, and it's nice and closed, other than a gaping hole that you would have if you did the chain 6. So your call on what you would like to do. So round number 1's been complete. Let's do round number 2. So we're going to start now dividing it off into 6 sections. So how we're gonna do that is that you're gonna chain up 1, and you'll do 1 single crochet into the first one, okay, and then 2 single crochets in the next one. So 1 and 2. So you're gonna repeat that around. So the next one has 1, and then the next one has 2. Okay, so repeat that all the way around for round number 2. I'll be right back in just a moment. So 1 and then 2 into the next. If your counts are right, the last stitch will have 2 single crochets in it. Once you're happy with that, you're going to slip stitch to the very beginning single crochet. Now you won't see the hexagon quite yet. It's almost there, but you don't see it, and we're going to then move on to round number 3 next. So round number 3, right where we are, we're gonna chain up 1, and this time it'll be 2 single crochets in a row. So 1 and 2, and here's the nifty thing. This one that's directly below, you may not be able to see it there on camera, but it has 2 into the same stitch. It's always the second one that has the 2 extra. So it'll have 2 into the next. So it's always the second one of the grouping of 2 that has the 2 in it in the future. So once you did that, you're going to put 2 single crochets in a row. So 1 and 2, and if you're looking carefully, this is the second stitch of the grouping of 2. That one's gonna have 2 in it this time. Okay, so then 2 in a row, and then 2 into the next. Please do this all the way around for round number 3. Just finishing up round number 3, just slip stitch to the beginning single crochet, and the hexagon is now starting to appear. Let's do round number 4 next. So round number 4, chain up 1, and this time there's gonna be 3 single crochets in a row. Do you see how that's increasing each time? So 1, 2, and 3, and then the next one has 2, and you see that it's the second one of the grouping of 2 below, just so that you can get orientation on that. So round number 4 here, it's 3 in a row. So 1, 2, 3, and then 2 into the next. Please do this all the way around for round number 4. Coming up to the end of number 4, I'm just going to slip stitch then into the beginning. So round number 5 is where I'm going to leave you here, and then you're going to do all the way to 19. Just remember that you keep increasing each time. So round number 5, just chain up 1, and you're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 2 into the next. So then for round number 5, it's just 4 and then 2, 4 and 2. Please do this all the way around, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So just coming up all the way around, remember there is 2 stitches in the last one before the join, because you were doing the 4 and then 2, 4 and 2, so you have 4 and then the last one has 2. So let's go back to the worksheet here and let's talk, and we're going to get ourselves bigger, but let's see that worksheet so you can do a screen freeze if you have to. So right now we just finished on round number 5. So round number 6, there's going to be 5 stitches in a row, so 5 single crochets and then 2. Round number 7, it's going to be 6 single crochets and then 2. So you're going to continue that all the way throughout the sequence that you see here. So take a screenshot if you need to at this moment, or just hold the screen. And what I need you to do is that I need you to get all the way to round number 19, where you'll have 18 single crochets and then 2, and that will get you to where we need to pick up next. So right now when I look at it from this perspective, we're just going to back out now, so make sure you get that screenshot. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna back out. So the other sample that we have, we're currently in the center here, and so you're gonna continue to grow it out here, and this is where I'm gonna pick you up next. So just put me on pause at this time, and then just see the minute marker in the video title or video description, and I'll be picking up then on row number 20, which is considered the next round, so the next 2 rounds right here in the pattern. You should now have 120 single crochets in the circle, so it should be ending on round number 19, and it was 18 single crochets in a row and then 2. So let's pick up right here. The next 2 rounds are chain 1 single crochet in each of the next single crochet. We're gonna do that 2 times around, so let's begin to do that next, and I'll get you started and then you'll do the other one on your own. So I'll start you with round number 1, and then you'll do number 2 on your own, and then we'll pick up in the next round after that. So at this point of the tutorial you should know how to slip stitch to the end of a round when you get there. So you're just going to chain up 1 and you're just going to apply 1 single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around, and when you get around just slip stitch to attach, then chain 1 again and do another round of single crochet, and then slip stitch again to finish that round. So please do these next 2 rounds now, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So I'm coming up to the end of the second round, and I'm just going to slip stitch, and you're going to notice then, because we just did 2 rounds of just single crochets, it rounded off this even nicer. So let's begin the next round, and we're going to start decreasing. Here we go. So let's begin the first round of decreasing. I'm going to show you a really cool technique that I learned from a friend, that if you use the front loops only when you do a decrease, you end up making invisible decreases. So instead of having a very obvious line that will appear at this hat at each one of those junctions, it will be invisible. So let's start. So I want you to chain up 1, and we're going to single crochet in the first 18. So 1 and 2, 3, 4. So I've just now done 18. Here's the trick. Usually, let me show you the way that it's telling you to do it, and then I'll show you a different technique. So if you go to the next one, just scoop it and pull through, and then go into the next one, pull through, and then you pull through all 3, and that's a 2 together single crochet. But you end up with a really obvious line when you do that. It's not wrong, but here's another option for you. What you can do is that you go into the front loop only and circle around and go into the next front loop only, so that it looks like this, and then pull through, and then pull through and finish, and that makes the 2 together pretty much invisible. Let me show you that again. So going into the front loop only and circle around and pull through and then finish it. Right? So what I want you to do is, starting in the next one, do in the next 18. So 1, 2, 3, go all the way to 18, and then do a decrease, and then I'll meet you back here. So you'll do a decrease within each one of those sections here. Every 18 you're going to do a decrease. If your counts are right, the last 2 stitches before the end will be a decrease, and then you are going to just slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet. So we're going to move on now into the next round, and I'll be right back in a second. Let's move on to the next round, which is technically round number 23. You're going to just chain up 1, and this time there will be 17 single crochets in a row. So 1, 2, 3, and go all the way to 17, and then we're going to do a decrease. I'll see you there in just a second. Once your 17 are in, you're going to do another decrease. So again, I would strongly recommend those front loops only. Put the next 2 together, and then do the next 17 again, and then 2 together, and do that all the way around. I'll see you at the end of this round. This is number 23. So I'm coming all the way around on the end of number 23. The last 2 are together, and that's just keeping the right count. Slip stitch, and let's move on to round number 24, where we're going to do some more decreases. So round number 24, we're going to do a significant decrease this time. We're actually going to come even more narrower, but more than what we have been doing. So we're going to start off with, and we're going to do chain 1, and we're only going to do the first 7 in a row this time. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then you're going to put the next 2 together. So the entire round for this round is the next 7 and then 2 together, 7 and 2 together. That's how you're going to do round number 24. So please do that, and I'll see you at the end of this round. At the end of round number 24, if your counts are right, the last 2 will also be 2 together, and then slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet or to the beginning single crochet. So let's move on to round number 25. We're going to change our multiples and what we're decreasing it by once again. As we're doing the decreasing, I think it's becoming self-explanatory on how to decrease, so I'm going to speed through now, and we're starting around number 25. So you're going to chain up 1 and then you'll put 10 single crochets in a row and then 2 together and then 10 and then 2 together, and that's how you're gonna do round number 25. Please do that now. I'll see you back here in just a moment. So I'm back all the way around. The last 2 were 2 together and that was just keeping in the right count. We're moving on to round number 26. So you're going to chain up 1 and in number 26 it'll be 9 single crochets in a row and then 2 together, 9 and then 2 together. Please do that all the way around for round number 26. Let's move along to round number 27. Nice and easy round again. They're all easy I suppose. So you're gonna chain up 1 this time and then there'll be 6 single crochets in a row and then 2 together, and you'll continue to do that all the way around. So 6 and then 2. Please do that round number 27. Let's begin round number 28. Chain up 1 and then there'll be 5 single crochets in a row and then 2 together, and you'll continue that all the way around. So 5 and 2. I'll see you at the end of number 28 in just a moment. Okay, I've just finished in round number 28. Round number 29 is the last decrease that we're going to do. So just chaining up 1, do 8 single crochets in a row and then 2 and then 8 and 2. Please do that all the way around. That's round number 29, and then we're gonna do the final 3 rounds of just regular single crochet after that. So let's finish off your hat. The last 3 rounds are just rounds number 30, 31 and 32 are just chain up 1 single crochet in each. Just slip stitch it when you get back around and do the 3 rounds, and I'll be right back in just a moment. So I just finished the final 3 rounds. So rounds number 30, 31 and 32. Cut this strand extra long so that you can use a tapestry needle. My hat is actually smaller than it should be. I wish I would have done a gauge check. So I'm gonna put that as a note in the beginning of this tutorial, so it'll already be there by the time you see it. Highly recommend it. So this is pretty much a kid's size at this moment, so it's supposed to be an adult. So I want to glide this, the stitch or the strand underneath the stitch work. Don't let it hit the outside. Just glide it through once and glide it through a second time, and then finally a third time is a charm. And then once you have that done, your hat's good enough to go, and it should be doable. So now when I flatten it out, I have the rounded top that you see, and then the opening is right there, and etc. So this is how you would do the Classic Crochet Beret.